I had to turn on the air conditioner.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Welcome everyone back to RVDaydream and the beginning of a new video. It was actually 78 degrees in the house. Now Heidi, she'd be freaking out. I don't mind that. And one of the reasons is because I'm not experiencing that temperature because I'm in the basement. And unfortunately, I am not, it's not as warm in the basement. I'm walking through the yard to see if it's dried out at all today. Seeing how it's such a nice day today. I doubt it. Yeah, it's real soft under my feet. I don't, I couldn't have done this just a few days ago. My feet have been soaked by now. But I'm going to continue to walk out through here and see where the limit is. Oh, there. Got a little there. Let's see on the bottom of my shoe what it's like. Oh yeah, it's all wet. So I thought I'd take this time as I'm walking out through here, confirming what I already thought, and that was no way, no how. Yeah, let me get out of this. It's getting real wet. And let me touch on a comment that I received, and of course it's easier for me to talk about the comments instead of typing it out. Okay, so I'm going to do two things, and they're probably both my favorite things, right? You guys know me. I'm going to talk about towing and trucks, and I'm going to talk about maybe ranting a little bit. Both things, right? I've done plenty of it. Let me see if I can do this kind of quick, though. I had somebody comment on, not the last video from this one, but the one prior to that. And they basically, it was a little bit of a gaslight. You know, you can't make a statement and then say, well, I wasn't debating it. Well, when you make this bold statement that obviously, for me, is not true, then of course you're going to get a debate about it. And the comment was something to the effect of, the F-150 is going to struggle at elevation with the weight of this RV. It's going to, talking about the powertrain specifically, that's what they mentioned in the comment. And they said, good luck with that, or good luck with the powertrain, something to that effect. So I had replied, over the past 45 years, I don't think the mountains have gotten any higher. And, 45 years ago, we're talking early 80s. And this could be applied to other years too, but I'm just going to use, early 80s as the example. And the RVs that were being built in the early 80s were not lightweight versions. I mean, there was a few lightweight models out there, but most RVs were pretty darn heavy back then. None of them were using fiberglass, really. All of them were using stick and tin. They were using heavy batten insulation. They were heavy. They were heavy RVs. And the only way you had a light RV is if you had a small RV. Also, the vehicles that were made back then. Let's just take, for example, an 89 fuel-injected F-250 with a 460 in it. Those horsepower ratings weren't that great. I mean, they were really low. I would be surprised if it was more than 220 horsepower maybe for a 460. And their torque was maybe in the 390 range, maybe 400 possibly. I mean, they weren't powerhouses. And the RVs were really heavy. So the mountains were the same height, the trucks had less power and torque, and the RVs they were pulling were heavier. Yet people did that all over the country. They didn't have any issues. So I'm not sure why, if you took a truck that has, this is a Gen 3 Coyote engine that's in this truck. And again, I'm going to talk about the powertrain specifically because that's what he had said. I'm going to have a problem towing this heavy of a trailer through elevation. You know, it's a 395 horsepower engine, and it's over 400 pound-feet, or right at 400 pound-feet of torque. That's, like I said, that's better than what a 460 was back in the 80s. Now, granted, I'm going to say that horsepower, you know, is at a higher RPM, and that horsepower, the torque, is also at a higher RPM than what the 460 would have been at. But that 460 also, the best it could have had was a 5-speed, and that's being a manual. Most likely, if it was an automatic, it had a 4-speed, maybe even a 3-speed. I've got a 10-speed. I have 3 overdrives. That means I have 7 gears of torque multiplication. So the fact that I have all those gears, and gearing's what it's, you guys don't need to be truck experts to know that if you ride a 10-speed and you start up a hill, the more gears you can click down, the better it is. Well, the truck offers quite a few different gears that it can click down to help it going up that hill. And this is coming from somebody who always says the same thing. If you can get a Super Duty, you want to tow with a Super Duty. I mean, if you can afford it. The problem lies is that if you're not towing enough, now you've got this truck that's not, it's not horrible on gas, but it's not as good as an F-150 is on gas, miles per gallon. It's just a personal preference. Yeah, to suggest that the F-150 is incapable or will have issues based on powertrain, nah, it'll do fine. Even with this truck, and it's got over 180,000 miles, it'll do fine. Where I would see that this truck would suffer, though, is definitely with just the manipulating of the load that it's towing. So again, just the way that it moves around, the way that the truck moves around, and it controlling the trailer. Everything would have to be stepped back. Just the short bit that we towed and went, on test rides and stuff, which was a couple videos back. It's not, I had to be slow about everything, except during acceleration, out of all things. During acceleration, like an on-ramp or something like that, this thing will fly up and get up to 70, no problem. I mean, it just clicks right along. All right, enough talk. I'm going to get back inside. I got some more stuff to do. I thought I would just say welcome to this next video. And man, oh man, the stretch of weather is unbelievable. This is the way it should be all the time.
The garage door is unlocked.
Well, it's so nice you got the garage door unlocked, and it's so nice that the weather is very cooperative. So, what do we have going on today? I think I'm going to do a little work. I know, I always say that, and I always find a way to not do what I'm supposed to. There's one thing I do not like about warm weather, and that is you have to start worrying about the bugs in the trash. Yeah, small consolation there. So I'm walking towards the already opened garage, but now I've changed direction and I'm heading towards the RV.
We are gathered here on this most joyous occasion to witness Princess Vespa, daughter of King Roland, going right past the altar, heading down the ramp and out the door.
What I have to do is I need to open the RV today. I think I'm going to try to mow. As soon as all this dew is off the grass, the morning dew is off the grass, we have, I know it don't look like it, it's beautiful weather out. I mean, it is so nice and warm already, and it's, well, I don't even know what time it is. Let's see what time it is. But this is almost a dead repeat of yesterday with a little bit brighter sunshine. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is currently 74. Now, we had no chance of rain in the forecast. Then they said that they could not rule out a slight percentage of rain, so they kept on modifying the forecast. And at this point, the forecast says 5%. However, the weather maps show probably not. I think they assembled this wrong. I think this is too low. I mean, I guess. But they didn't even tighten these screws. They're not even tight. I'll tell you. You're telling me that those worked loose? I doubt it. They just didn't tighten them from the factory. Okay, I don't need to do anything in here right now. It's nice and cool. I had all the windows closed, and it's 68 degrees. Okay, I won't touch the RV. I'll leave it alone, but I know it's going to get hotter today. Maybe I'll do something about that. So you're probably wondering, well, what are you doing today? What's going on? Well, I think I'm going to try to do something with that garage. And the reason being is, I think it might be time for a yard sale. We've been here now for a little bit. I think it's been 2 years. You know, I don't remember. I'm going nice and slow because it's a wonderful morning. Yeah, I think it's been a couple years now, right? I think we got enough stuff that it needs to go. Got a squirrel back there on my fence. Now listen, I don't care about the squirrel on my fence. What I care about is the squirrel on my fence is probably trying to become the squirrel in the garage in my equipment. Oh man, my arm's not the way it used to be. Used to be really good. I didn't even make the fence. Are you recording me trying to get that squirrel? God, I can't believe that I didn't make the fence. I mean, my arm just isn't the same as it used to be. I've gotten so old. When did that happen? All right, let me, I took the golf cart back here last night when I was closing up the pole building. And it was trying to get stuck. It's funny because the golf cart has a limited slip differential. So you hear it goes thunk, thunk. It kind of, when it's doing little burnouts. Oh, this is bad back here. This is why we wanted to fill this full of gravel. This is ideally, again, what we'd like to do. This nice gravel pad coming all the way out to probably this area here. And then gravel all through here, enough for an RV to be parked. And then it kind of just migrating into something, you know, back into that driveway. And then more on the other side, which we'll go look at in a second. But yeah, it's way wet back here. I'll show you how wet it is. You see all this? Look at this. This is just water. It's just lots of water. Somebody had asked about, has the guy come out to look at our fence? And is he fixing it? Yes, he's going to fix it, but I told him it's just way too wet back here for him to do anything. So don't even bother. And he's basically, you know, waiting for our call to let him know when it's good to come back. Yeah, I'll show you why it's so wet. Look on this side of the fence. I mean, it's a disaster, right? It's just all wet. Yeah, I don't know. I think there should be something that we can do that makes this better back here. I've got to quit overthinking it or think about it even more. I told you on one of the past videos here just recently that this has been, maybe even this video, this has been the wettest May in I think it's like I don't remember. Whatever I tell you is going to be a fib, so I don't want to tell you anything at all. But I know that it's up in the top 15 of the coolest Mays and in the top 10 of the wettest Mays on record. So the fact that I just told you all that, why should I try to address a problem that only shows up once in who knows how many years? Hopefully it's not a repeating pattern here. Here's a tip. Once you if you got a combination lock, once you lock this back up, I set the number to something that is unique and I know, and that way I can tell if somebody's been fiddling around with it. Now, with that said, we don't. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something that Heidi she'll get upset about, just because she, I mean, rightfully so. She's worried that somebody might be thieving from us or something. I told her our yard is fenced in, all except for that section over there and what's back over this way. I said, I don't think anybody's going to come and steal our zero turn or our garden plow tractor or our utility trailer or our wagon and us not know about it. I mean, I can't imagine us not knowing about it. So I told her that whenever we get a stretch of really nice warm days, I'm just going to leave this thing open. I'll tell you though, one of the things I need to do, which is going to require a water tote or a very long garden hose, and that is birds. One of the things I need to do is come out here and pressure wash all these birds' nests out of here. Wouldn't take very much except for the long garden hose. So I don't even think I would care about the trailer being in here. I don't even know if I would care about these things being in here. But I should take this tarp, put it out in the yard, pressure wash the tarp off really well. Then pressure wash all these birds' nest out of the corners. Then pressure wash the pole building in general. I don't know. In here for sure, on the inside, on those translucent. There we go. And then on the outside, we still have to address the roof at some point. All right. So I just wanted to drag you guys back here for a little bit different scenery. And you get to ride on the golf cart. Yeehaw. I think Heidi likes riding on the golf cart. It has come in pretty handy. I don't know if this is hurting my health, though. I mean, shouldn't I just be walking? I mean, I know that's a thing, right? If I would have walked this every time I needed to open, I think I'd be a little bit healthier. I can't believe how tall those jacks are. That's pretty darn tall. Look at a bee trying to land in here. But yeah, I mean, look at the length of the screw. That's got to be 2 foot. I'm still contemplating about this bumper. Things have changed, and it has to do with. God, this thing is in really good shape. Really good shape. So what I'm thinking about doing is possibly utilizing this bumper. You know, Mountain Lock, how I got started with them was with our Terry camper, which had a rusted bumper, a very rusted bumper. I put on their safety struts, and their safety struts basically bolt to the frame, the frame of the trailer. Oop, I just seen a little ant. You have to check that out. And they cradle this square tube to allow it to where it can't twist, because that's what happens when there's too much weight back here. It will cause this weld on this metal to start twisting and ripping, and rips the metal. But those things hold it. And basically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, what he advertises is that you can get 400, I think they say pound-feet of cargo with his safety struts using your factory bumper. And from what I remember on the description was, doesn't mean that 400 pounds can, it can't mean I can't mount a big system out here that's 400 pounds. What it means is it can support evenly across the entire bumper, 400 pounds, 1 foot out. So about here, it can support 400 pounds as long as it's evenly distributed between the two supports. I think what I'd like to do is maybe try that. Just cradling this bumper, realizing that it's going to rust over the years. But the thing is, I can't really bolt his bumper on unless I make cuts into the frame. I was thinking about cutting this support here close to the frame. Anyways, I don't want to get underneath there and show you guys. It's too much. And I'm sure there's a solution to it all. But the easiest would be to just use his safety struts back there. And then I'm going to try a different brand, a much cheaper brand of diamond plate boxes, and try to get some support for the bumper that bolts to the bumper that will hold those boxes. I'm actually even considering just getting some steel plate and seeing if I can support the box itself, by itself, just bolt it to the bumper, because they are diamond plate boxes. So the fact that I'm putting on some sort of a bracket that holds anything, for that matter, I think I might be able to do it with just steel plate, possibly. I don't know. I did calculate out the weight, and using Mountain Lock's stuff, and when I say Mountain Lock stuff, what I mean is using their Jenny Go support arms, Jenny Go support arms that bolt to the bumper. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they come out to be in the neighborhood of 32 pounds, something like that. I think it's 32 pounds for just the brackets. And then I added up the boxes and the Honda generator, and then a full gas tank, a full 6-gallon gas tank, which I have somewhere here. Not this one. Remember, that one's for the other generator. I'm talking about for the Honda that I don't have yet. I'm looking for a Honda companion. And I'm talking about this fuel tank, this one right here, with this system for a Honda. It all comes out to about 200 pounds, which would be fine. That would definitely be fine. All right. So my thought is trying to stay focused, and straighten up this garage pretty darn well. I got to stay focused, though. I know that I'll get sidetracked. I know it. So we'll see what we come up with here in a few hours. Let's see what time it is now. It is 10:28. Yeah, I'm already getting sidetracked. You guys know how hard it is with ADHD or something along those lines? Oh, man. So let me tell you a story about how I'm cleaning the garage and next thing you know, I'm mowing the lawn. All right. So I got the mat and I took it out there. I scrubbed it. Put purple power on it. I cleaned it real well. And then, of course, rinsed it and took the leaf blower, blew it off, let it sit out there and dry, and then folded it up, blew it off some more as I was folding it. And then it made it into this box. But where did this box come from? Well, I knew that while this was drying, I needed to clear out the garage a little bit more. So in this back corner is the barbecue grill, and it's covered in stuff. Now, this is the grill that we had over on Briar, our other street in the city. And Heidi likes to cook on it, but it's inconvenient. It's in the garage. We never get it out. So I thought, you know what? I could put it over there in the yard. And then I looked over in that part of the yard, and when I'm mowing with the zero turn, I can't mow that corner real well. So the grass is kind of tall. So I'm like, all right, well, the push mower is like leaning up against the wall there, or standing up against the wall. Let me just get that out and mow. So I got it out, slapped the battery in it real quick, and I started to mow. I'm like, well, let me mow a little more. Then I mowed around the corner. Then I mowed part of the front yard that it's a little tougher to get the zero turn on. That's that little patch right here that's kind of close. And I'm like, well, let me mow over here along the fence while I got it out, because the zero turn, when I mow with it over here, I can't necessarily get it real close to the fence. And not only that, but it blows grass all over the driveway. And then I've got to, blow the driveway clean. And I'm like, well, this needs mowed because it's gotten pretty tall. So I decided to mow this. And I'm like, well, since I'm mowing this, I might as well go ahead and mow a little bit further around the corner here, because I had to move both of these things here, right? Like, yeah, all right, yeah. So I mowed that part. For the most part, the zero turn can get most of this. Mowed around the RV a little bit. And, yeah. So then, after I did all that, I'm like, all right, cool. What else do I need to do? Oh, yeah, there's a box that's on top of the grill that I need to do something with. Well, that's when I decided, I'm going to put the tarp in there. The thing that goes on the floor in here, the protective mat. And in that box, I'm like, I haven't seen this thing for a long while. And let me look that up real quick. That might be okay. So I go ahead, and the thing I'm talking about is an RV accessory. So I start like, well, maybe I can use this. I don't know. It's a little bit different in size, but I can't see any negativity to it. So there we go. It's the shade. Now, obviously, this shade is not made for this awning. It is not quite wide enough, and it is way long. Look how long it is. I mean, I've got it at an angle here. Now, here's the thing. We set our RV up like this when we had our travel trailer down in Arizona. And we like this part here. And the reason that we like this part is look how big it is. I mean, it's not even rolled out as far as it could go. So, it could be even longer. Now, why would I like that? Well, a lot of times we don't even zip on this part. And this part here is so big, it's a nice shade. It's like a visor on your car. So anyways, this obviously is off of the very small awning that our fifth wheel came with. The fifth wheel had an awning on the slide, I don't know what you want to call it, the dining room slide where the two recliners were and the dining room table. Well, we didn't put one of these covers on that, but we did for the awning that went over the steps. So it had two awnings on it, is what I'm saying, and they were both small. Well, this is only
because I just been feeling really weird lately.
I don't know what that's about.
Been having some real bad stomach issues.
Okay, whatever, dude. I've never seen anybody so young so healthy that has so many problems, but I still watch them. There was a YouTube channel. That was that Owl Blades. Seems like that he's always got something going on that I can't wrap my head around. Well, maybe I can. We'll talk about that in a second. ADHD kicking in all over again. So anyways, this will work. Then I'm like, all right, cool. I need to find those hold downs. You know, there's hold downs here that I remember. So even though this came in a bag, you know, it comes with a specific bag, and Heidi and I used to fold this awning exactly the way it's supposed to be every single time. I don't know if we'll do that anymore, but that's what we used to do. And we kept the bag that this awning came in. I don't even bother looking in that bag because it's real basic. So I start looking and looking and looking for my other stuff, my other bag. Well, I ran down to the basement. And when I was down in the basement, I thought, you know what? I'm going to grab a few empty totes. That's what these are. These are empty totes from the basement. So I have something to throw stuff in if I start to get to where I need to organize. In the meantime, I'm not finding this bag. So I start looking back there in boxes that are stacked up. And I didn't see them in those two boxes. So I went back downstairs. I looked again. And then I thought, you know what? It just can't be downstairs. We have RV stuff down there, but I can't think of any reason why I would put hardware like awning tie downs and stakes and ropes and bungee cords. I don't know why I would throw that downstairs for the winter, because mice aren't going to eat that. That's basically what we do in the winter is we take everything that we think mice want to eat and we try to put it up or put it away or put it in the basement, whatever. Or if it's temperature sensitive, like batteries, you know, lithium batteries. So I came back out here and I'm like, well, let me look back underneath. Yeah, sure enough, it was on that shelf there. So I finally found it. So I come back out, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me put these stakes down. And I've got the bag. I've cleaned it off. And the reason I had to clean it off because whenever we had the fire in the garage, I sprayed fire extinguisher all over it. And so out here laying on the steps was that cover right there, that square cover. That's what the awning shade comes in. And then I have this bag here that I finally found. Well, when I picked up that bag, a little plastic bag fell out of it. And as soon as I seen that little plastic bag, my brain jumped time back into time. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. We used to take those 3 little stakes and we used to put them in that little plastic bag. And that's why there's 3 bungee cords on this awning. So those 3 stakes were in the plastic bag that the sunshade was in the whole time. Now, granted, I'm glad that I found the other bag, and I don't even know what's in there, but maybe I'll look. Let's do that. Why not? Because I don't, you know, this is the problem with having everything organized and exactly where you want it. You know, you know exactly where everything is. You know how to get to everything because you don't have that much. You just don't have that much stuff. And if you keep it organized in your RV when you're full-time in, you're in good shape. So let's see here. Yeah, see, I wasn't wrong. There's some more stakes in here, more hold downs. There's the, oh, and me and Heidi was just talking about this. We wanted to know where our hatchet went, our favorite little hatchet. See that? This is something that we've had. It was her grandfather's, and it's all caught up in here. And I don't know, we were just talking about it. That's pretty much yeah, we've had this, like I said, it was her grandfather's, and we've had this for a long time. And I was saddened because I couldn't find it. Well, there it is. There's some awning tie downs that we've had for a long time. Here's some ropes and some clothesline. Why would you do that? Well, back when we were campers, we we put up a clothesline and hang out our kids' towels and whatever we ran into, at the, campground. They went swimming or we washed something by hand. We would put up some sort of clothesline on the tree. They say as long as you tie it on the tree and not nail it or anything, some parks allow that. Well, of course, when we got into 1,000 Trails membership, none of that's allowed. You can't put up clotheslines. You can't do any of that stuff. So anyways, I'm glad I looked in that bag, because I'll be able to tell Heidi we found the hatchet. She'll be excited. Not that we used it, but yeah. So I actually made the garage more of a mess. I haven't got any more organized or any more closer to doing what I wanted to do, and that was straighten this thing up to where it made sense. But that's what happens when you get sidetracked, you know, with this whole ADHD. Oh, by the way, since I had the purple power out and I was cleaning that mat, of course, it only makes sense that you have to clean the mud off the tires of the golf cart, right? Like I said, my mind goes in 20 different ways at the same time, and sometimes it gets really tiring. Oh yeah, what I was just saying about how I couldn't wrap my head around whatever he's experiencing there or what's going on. You know, I should have more sympathy for that. You know, maybe he's got some kind of health issue. I get it. But I'm going to tell you what the main problem is. And this happens to all YouTubers. And that's why I can relate. Sometimes when everything is, all the cylinders are firing and everything is going perfect, and your videos are fluid, you're documenting everything, everything just seems to be going very well, you start to get a little bored and a little complacent, and then you kind of basically want to ditch school. And that's basically what happens. I'm assuming everybody, regardless of what your job is. But, you know, sometimes we get into a mode where we just want to ditch school. We don't want to put out videos. We don't want to record like we should. We don't want to do the same thing over again. And the only thing that I can suggest that helps with that is try to step outside of what you normally do and try to find something that interests you and renews the reason that you're shooting videos. That's why the number one reason when we first started, you know, a YouTube channel years ago, back in, well, 2007 when I first started posting, but whenever we really started posting a lot, I think it was probably about 2010 maybe. A lot of people said, hey, I've seen you on YouTube. You know, that even because my other channel grew really fast, and my other channel, I was up to 50,000 subscribers right away, and I've never reached that with this channel, which is fine. We never really did this channel for that reason necessarily. It was just a nice side to having a YouTube channel. And a lot of people have asked, well, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel or doing YouTube. What do you think? Well, you know, what do you think? So if I usually don't go to the trouble of saying, well, why do you think you want to start a YouTube channel? Because it's kind of like asking somebody, you know, you're interviewing them at that point, and they'll give you excuses that you know, as somebody who's trying to get a job, you know how you would answer an interviewer. You would say the things that they probably want to hear. You wouldn't necessarily say the truth. And, you know, there's a lot of times people are thinking, because I think I could, you know, easy money. This could be easy money. That's what they should be saying, because that's what a lot of people think whenever they, you know, start YouTube. I always tell them the same thing. Start YouTube and do it if you like doing it. If you are, and again, whenever I started YouTube, it was for crazy reasons. It was because I was trying to sell something. And it's funny how all these years later, it seems like that a lot of these reviews and stuff, it's just because I'm pushing some sort of product. Now, I'll have to say that a lot of times these products that we have, I won't do a review if they're junk. I won't do a review if I don't like this garage. There are just in this view of me right now, 1, 2, 3 for sure that I can see right off the top of my head. And I know in the basement there's at least 5 more things. Just in the last 2 years that I didn't do reviews on, and I won't do reviews on. They're not good. It's a waste of everybody's time. Because I get a lot of people say, well, you should do some sort of review and talk about why people shouldn't buy it and point out all the faults. You know, maybe they don't see it the same way you do. I'm not doing that for the random one person, you know. And not only that, but a lot of these manufacturers or third parties or whoever it is that we're communicating with, they, you know, they're wanting, oh, no, you need to change that. You need to change the video to not reflect that so much. And I'm too honest for that. I'm honest to a fault with some of this stuff, and probably a lot of the stuff that I do, and I just can't do it. So yeah. But anyways, I told them that the whole reason that I was doing the videos back then was you know, to sell these mopeds that I was fixing, and because I had a small engine business and it was promoting the business. I never thought that the YouTube videos could be the business. I never, you know, I couldn't wrap my head around that initially because it was just too new. But then whenever I started getting in with Amazon affiliates and started realizing how all of it worked, you know, that whole synergy thing where Amazon affiliates, YouTube, it all worked together. And anyway, it worked. It just worked. But I still wouldn't do it now because, you know, the money is not even close to the way it was anymore. I don't really care. I just want to have some sort of income come in from it and just have fun with it. So there's a lot of times that I get into that funk, I'll call it that, just like that YouTuber did. He's done it multiple times, though. I mean, obviously, he's got a lot more subscribers and a lot more viewers. And the problem with that is he's got a lot of money coming in, a lot of sponsors and a lot of money coming in. And whenever you have that much money coming in, and you can either get up and work your butt off all week long, or you can stay in bed and that money is not going to be affected by that for at least a month. You know, it'd take him a month before he started seeing a decline. You know, it makes it difficult. There's no motivation there. So, I mean, I get where he's coming from, but man, I hate that he's always, it seems like he's always, I've got this issue. I got mental health issues, and, you know, I whatever. I don't know. It just seems strange. A different generation, maybe. I don't see it myself personally. And nothing against him. I'm sure he does believe he's got all those issues, or he does have those issues, whatever. It's just, I come from another generation that you hear me talk about my stomach issues and stuff like that. Well, I try to make it to where it doesn't affect me, and I tell you about it just because it's part of our story of what's going on. That's all. All right. Probably ran on too much, like always. Let me get back to work. ADHD. Heidi's here, and she's starting to... Oh, I thought you were working here. You was just using that thing to cut stuff.
Yeah. And then I've got all these pennies I need to take to work.
You can't get pennies.
But I don't have any penny rolls.
She can't get pennies, so...
You can't even... Now listen to this. I went to the bank yesterday. Lincoln's little rotors or something.
Oh, yeah, a motorcycle he had.
I went to the bank and I asked for penny rolls, and they don't have any of those. And I said, well, that's dumb.
I guess they just not ordering anything for them to support them.
Anyway, she said that their order just didn't come through.
So you can see that Heidi's off today.
Yeah, and I got like 2,900 projects going, like...
Worse than me. So we have we have this idea in our heads that we might want to attempt to have our first yard sale at this location. The problem is we're not even close to being geared for a yard sale like we used to be. But Heidi's off today. Then she only works till 1 tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then the next day you...
Work till 3.
And then she's got to work.
I gotta work all day.
Yeah.
I give somebody the weekend off. He already had Friday and Saturday off. And even though I don't like working Sunday, I thought it'd be nice if he had the whole weekend off.
We'll turn on some more lights to help.
Because he's going to be retiring, and I'm going to have to take both my weeks vacation before he leaves. Because who knows what's going to happen after. He is going to stay part-time, but, you know, he might dictate what he wants to work.
I would.
Because I would.
Oh, I meant to tell you also that yesterday I brought in the basement door. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
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 It was just out there, and
there's no reason for it to be out
Yeah.
there. Just get ruined if somebody wants to put it back up. Which
well, it's right. I know. I looked at it, and I had it at the top. I'm like, I don't even know why I'd put this up. It just doesn't make any sense.
It works for us because it's just a
it's a straight shot.
doorways there.
Yeah.
2 doors, 3 doorways.
Yeah. I mean, we have to get rid of the
If you want to
other.
go down to the basement, coming inside, you'd have to close the door, the outside door, open the basement door before you could go down. And heck, we weren't even 1 day in of owning this place, and we had that door off.
Not only that, we within 2 days, maybe 3 days of owning this place, we locked that bathroom door going to our little bathroom, and we need to get rid of it. It's just a
It'd
senseless.
be nice if it was a bookshelf on, or a
Not
little
here.
kind of shelf on this side in the bathroom, and then just like a hang-up thing on the other.
Oh, wow. I don't know if the wall's thick enough to accommodate that.
Probably not.
But Heidi's going to be working in the basement. I've got to go outside and dork around in the garage, and it'll probably end up like it was yesterday. And I don't know if you guys... I didn't close out the video yesterday, but I ended up mowing the whole yard. I mean, it was... I'm glad that I did. Within probably 3 days... I'd be able to mow it again, and it'll look really nice in 3 days, because all that grass that I cut is, we got a little cow patty action out there because it was wet and it was thick. And I'll be able to go through, like I said, in 3 days, the grass will grow slightly. The stuff that I cut will dry quite nicely, and I'll be able to get a good cut on it. The lawn will look really nice, like I said, in about 3 days.
Yeah, it looked pretty nice whenever I came home yesterday.
I still, neighbors can't mow. I mean,
Yeah, because we're up a little bit higher than they are.
Plus I have that zero turn just blows through that stuff. It was kind of funny because I left the discharge chute wide open. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed.
Grass in my rocks.
I blew most of the stuff out, and
Because that's how weeds start.
I always I always take the chute and put it down when I even think it's going to make it. But here's what I'm saying. That grass was so high and so thick and so wet, considering that I was throwing clumps way further than I ever expected. I mean, there was clumps being thrown. I can't remember where I found some. Oh, I know where I found some. On the generator and on the window where the camera is.
Really?
Listen, I was in the yard all the way past the old satellite dish thing.
Block off.
Yeah, they make a chute blocker. The chute blocker's only $267.
I might buy him one for his birthday.
Yeah. I could use it.
It's so wet out here. Who wants to block off grass when it's wet?
We got to make a corporate decision on our e-bike. I'm thinking that there's a chance. I'm going to have to do a little research. I think what I'm going to do is potentially take this battery off of this Ingwe and put it on yours if it's compatible. It's a lot of work for me to tear it all apart and do that. But if it's compatible, then, because Heidi you don't want to get rid of your bike, do you?
Nah, there's no reason for it.
And you like that bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She likes this bike right here. This one here. We've had for quite some time.
Well, I'd rather have another seat on it, but...
Well, you can buy another seat.
I know, but we gave those seats away, which is ridiculous.
They didn't match. They wouldn't have matched that. So maybe I'll do that. Because the problem is...
Because we are going to go on a little bike trip.
Well, I want to, but I'm telling you, I don't think that it's going to...
You know what? We just need to just do it.
Yeah, well, what
And
happens?
if we run out of batteries, we'll have to give Bud our location. And actually, we pedaled before.
I'm not doing that again. That was the last time I learned.
That is funny. Anyway, yeah, so we need to figure out what's on the bike trail. Like, you know, if we go 25 miles, let's say, we should be able to go 25 miles on any one of these bikes. And get to a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And then spend the night. And then hopefully it don't rain. Then ride them back. I just think it would be fun. It would be a cool video.
That would be kind of cool.
Be good exercise for us. And we could say we did it.
True. It won't be exercise for you. It's just me riding.
The thing is yeah.
Well, the thing is, going back to what we're saying, if I put that battery rack on yours, and here's what I'm talking about, if you guys don't know. We did a video on this in the past. You know, I don't know if I did a video on the battery rack. Now I think about it. Maybe I did. This bike right here looks like this bike. However, they've made different iterations of this bike, this company, Ingwe. They made different iterations of this bike. And even today, you can't buy this iteration. You can't even buy this iteration. And there is a difference between the two. But I think it was a motor difference, not a battery difference. So if the battery and the controller's compatible, I will take this rack and battery, I think, and put it on Heidi's. So then she has dual batteries. Then we can lower the price on this, and nobody understands that how much range that extra battery gives.
Or I can take that on a...
It's not fat. It's not the same motor as yours. I've thought.
Take it on.
Oh well, there's a thought.
And then sell it after, saying, "Hey, you know, we did 100 miles, and on these two batteries." I'm just saying, I don't know.
No. Well, you know, there's a thought.
And
I didn't think about
without
this.
charging it.
I think we got I got another solution for this. You tell me what you think.
I don't know.
What if I take, and if I find out they're the same, no, I bet you the controllers are, I could change the controllers.
Well, I should just take that thing for a ride.
It's not fat. It's not the same. Here, hold the camera, point it at me, and let's show you the difference. And you're going to go, ooh, wow. So, although these bikes look identical, this is why I want to take this battery and stuff and put it on hers, if that bike is compatible. Because there's a difference. Both of these have the highest setting, sport, whatever. Here's yours on Pedal Assist 5 Max.
That's not mine.
Not yours. So you hear it, right?
Yeah.
You see how it really...
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not slow. All right.
Okay. Oh, wow. Big difference. Big difference. That's why it does almost 40.
Yeah, so that's where the problem is. I gotta turn this thing off. Doink. And doink. So you can see why I want to keep your bike.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, but I'd have to change the controller and the but I could take that wheel and put it on this. You'd have a new bike with a dual battery, and I'd have to change the controller. Well, I still have to take quite a bit apart for
the battery.
For the battery, yeah, because I have to get into the controller. It's not that it's difficult. I mean, I've already done it once. So this is one of Heidi's furniture things. That's going to be a nice one. She also did this thing. I see you got paint.
Well, yeah, I sanded
Stripes.
it. I sanded it.
Oh, okay.
I just gotta paint it again. It feels pretty smooth.
Yeah, looks nice. But yeah, I seen the stripes. I'm like,
I was down here. I was on my phone before you came down, and I was looking for because they do decals, rub on.
Right.
But I need to find something that's big enough to go. I wanted to do like maybe a decal across the drawer.
Wonder how much money you would make if you just cleaned all these furnitures and sold them.
Yeah, probably not much.
They were. I mean, everybody. There's people doing.
I think the corner thing we paid what, like $80.
We got a good deal on it, but now it is stripped and ready to be painted. Yeah. And there's all these people wanting to do projects.
Yeah.
And it's like, here you go.
But I need to measure that and see. I wouldn't mind putting it up in the kitchen. I mean, the dining room.
Oh yeah.
It'd have to be on the wall.
It'd be in the. Well, we could do it where I was just screwing around today with the vacuum in there.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. We got so much. I have too much stuff.
That's what I was saying.
As bad as Michael.
What if you just took it all and sold it all?
Yeah, well, I mean, why would I do that? Because that's what I did as I bought it.
Yeah, but you just buy it for more. It's called a flip.
Yeah. Well, am I going to sell it for $8?
No, more than that.
Yeah. Well, that stuff don't sell. That's why that was marked for $5. Yeah.
You've just put 10.
Gives me something to do.
You just put 10 on it and stick it out there. Yeah, then they come by and they say, "Well, you take 5." I say, "I'll take 7," and you made $2. You did nothing.
Yeah. Well, we did do something. We carried it, brought it down here.
Yeah, but we also got the enjoyment of the shopping experience. I got to haul these canopies out here too. You know, we have one canopy we've never even opened, so we'll have the bug shelter, the pop out, whatever that's called, the clam shelter, the small one that we use down in Vero Beach.
Right.
Then we have this one that was at your mom's that we've had forever. We've had that a long time now. Yeah, it even went through that storm at the garage sale. And then we have this one that's brandy new, never even opened or nothing. It's got everything brand new. So we have 3 canopies that we can put up. Plus, of course, Matt's got his thing. And
I'd have to give up my tables for a few days. I think we have one.
Bud's small one. And then I could maybe...
We have a picnic table.
Yeah, maybe I could do the one that's in the corner of the garage. Go like this on your cheek. Go. Yep, you got it. It's on your sleeve now. Yeah, we have the one in the garage.
But we could use these 2. This would be a little bit much of a pain in the butt. But,
yeah, we could do those other 2.
Yeah.
My problem is the crap that I'd want to sell. Nobody's going to buy my cameras and gear and stuff. I got to do that eBay.
Put that on eBay.
I know.
6 or 8 months ago.
No, I told you. Over the winter, I'm going to do it all.
These road atlases are so old that you'd probably get in a car accident.
Just driving off a cliff.
Oh yeah, Mark's $1.99.
We got a good deal on that one.
Yeah. Mickey might have brought that at work.
I see something else that probably.
Yeah. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I used it. I tried. I even put. We got a whole projector down here with stereo and everything and a fan. It's called lazy.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand.
Americans.
Do you ever notice that exercises work, and it's difficult? So why is it that the health industry, with the exception of people that have injuries, bad hips, bad knees, bad feet, whatever, and I get with the weather and stuff like that, but why is it that people that are trying to get into shape look for devices that make it easier? Why would you want it to be easier? You want the work to be hard so that it's, and I'm sure that everybody's typing on their keyboards right now. It's not about easier, it's convenience. I understand the difference, but if there's a park that is 2 miles away and we enjoy going to the park, why wouldn't we go walk the trail at the park versus
lazy?
Yeah, it's convenience, but Like I said, it's like everybody wants to pretend that they're exercising and go, oh, this is much easier than I thought. Well, then it's not going to work.
You know, some of the people that work out at like Planet Fitness or
This
whatever.
is my favorite.
They do it because they're paying for it.
I want you to watch all the people that are going into Planet Fitness or any, like I said, any gym for that matter. But more than that, watch what they do to drive through the parking lot to find the closest spot to the entrance. They're literally trying to find a close spot to the entrance of the gym so they can go in and work out.
One day I might redo this horsey.
It's old.
Actually, I think I'm going to clean it up. I shouldn't have to do much.
I'll tell you the other thing it's old is
I'll put some soft stuff on
the high chair.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is cool.
I'd love for somebody to redo that. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah. So basically there is plastic on it. So it's probably from the 60s, I would guess, maybe. Yeah, the 60s. I would guess the 60s.
On it.
And the cool thing about that is that folds down to a rolling chair.
Yeah.
It's a high chair, like a normal high chair would be, but it folds and it's got wheels on it. So, you know, what are those things called that the kids crawl in something or scoot crawlers or?
I don't remember what they're called.
Right. But that was the original. That was or a version of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to get out and work. I'm just making excuses to just hang out here. So today's high temperature is going to be 69. I think it's currently, I don't know, it's in the 60s. I am wearing shorts, although if I had my way, I would only do that if it was in the 70s. We also have to make arrangements to get this concrete fixed. I forgot all about that. Well, it's not that I forgot about it, it's just I've gotten used to it. Yeah, you'll get to see here. I'll show you best described would be cow patties. The cow patties that are out there in the yard. Oops. All right. Let's go take a look here. Oh, I gotta put the grill. Oh, no, I'm not. That's right. I keep on thinking that the grill goes in the RV. However, as I mentioned the other day, the grill don't go in the RV because when we were camping, it smelled like grease in the I don't know, whatever it's called, the storage compartment. Yeah, so I was baling hay a little bit. I even missed a couple spots over there. But I got it mowed, and you can tell how bad the yard was. Oh, there's a woodpecker off in the distance. No, it's the awning tied down. So you could see the grooves in the yard. That's from the mower sinking as I was mowing. I had to go open that pole building. This is like the same routine every day, but today is going to be really pleasant. And again, I'm out here dorking around. But my focus, which is not very good, you guys know that, is to do something with the garage today. So let me go open the pole building, and then I'll start working on the garage. Maybe this will look a little different whenever I come back on camera here, but I got a lot to do. I mean, I have a lot to do. It's sad because we were going to take, this was our plan. Everything was going to come out of the garage, and I was going to get out my paint sprayer. We was going to get white paint, and I was just going to hammer everything with white paint and paint this whole garage. Well, here we are. You know, I still could do that. Maybe the yard sale will be successful enough that everything will go away. That'd be nice, right? All right, let me go back to the pole building. Well, fun times ended. I got another bike review delivery. Heidi's been out here working her butt off on the furniture to get it sanded down, which looks really nice. I don't know what she's doing. Yes. But she did a really good job. I like the way that it looks. Both of them. And so I didn't get hardly anything done in there. And one of the reasons is because I went into the garage, or the pole building, and you can see the utility trailer out here. Remember, I told you the story about this utility trailer. This is Heidi's dad's utility trailer from 1980 or whatever when he first bought it. It was 3 years old then, or 4 years old when he bought it. So last year when we cleaned out the pole building, which we got a dumpster and we did a lot of work, we cleaned it out, we got rid of a lot of stuff, but I went through a lot of things that were left behind here, and I sorted through them, and I found a lot of stuff that I'm like, you know what, somebody would buy this at a yard sale for $0.10, or a box full of these things for $1. You know, barrel latches, stuff like that. And I cleaned them all off, wiped them off of dust, and I went ahead and I threw them in this little cart. And then I put the cart in the back of the pole building because it was stuff that mice wouldn't eat. It was just metal, you know, little igniters for grills, stuff like that. But what I didn't count on is that a mouse or a rat or something got in there and lived among all that stuff and crapped all over it and gathered so much insulation and bird feathers that it was just disgusting. So that's why part of my day's been screwed. Hopefully the wind buffer is working on this thing today. I changed it. I put it on strong, and we've got really nice wind today. Anyways, so that's why I didn't get what I wanted done. I just got part of it done. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but our grandson's over. He graduated first grade today, so it was his last day of school. Yeah, so we're gonna hang out with him, and I'll tackle this tomorrow to some extent, but I do have to do this review now of a bike that looks a lot like those Ingways that I was just showing you down in the basement. It's amazing how all these companies, their bikes start looking exactly the same, or they steal from each other. Heidi is at home. She got off early today because she's working.
Because of the holiday.
Yeah, she worked.
I worked 5 days, so instead of getting an extra day off, I took some hours, got some of my life back.
Yeah, so I'm getting ready to come in right after I just give you a quick update of what I did today. And we know what Heidi did. She worked. So say bye to Heidi. We'll pick her up some other time.
I already got like some dinner or whatever in the oven.
You do?
Yeah, I had some hamburgers, so
Ooh.
I put it with cream mushroom soup and potatoes and cheese.
I had chicken. We had boxed chicken, so I took some out of the box and ate it. All right, let's go outside.
Banquet chicken.
Yeah, it's not banquet. Yeah, it's a local chicken and JoJo shop.
I'm gonna go down and since I did that, then I'm gonna go down and
oh yeah,
and put another coat on. It says 5 or 6 coats, so
yeah. You're gonna sand downstairs?
Just a light.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like getting the sander out or anything, and I'm just taking it over each layer I put on. Yeah.
All right.
It's not like I'm not going to be creating a bunch of dust.
That's Bud. So just to let you know why that's Bud. He sent me a message earlier. I was just finishing up a review, and he says, "Hey, are you busy?" And I said, "I'm just finishing up in a review. What's up?" He said, "I locked my keys out of the car again."
Oh no.
And he says, "But I don't," he goes, I guess I'll just call AAA. Well, the last time he called AAA, it took kind of long, number one. Number two, he was at lunch when he locked his keys in the car. That's why I drove out there.
Right.
Well, I told him, I said, "Well, you know, call AAA. That's why we got him. And if you get off till 2, it's only, you know, just after noon.
Right.
I'll give you plenty of time." And he says, "Yeah, that's right." And then he called me and he says, "What's the zip code for the thing, which was kind of odd. I don't know why they needed that, but nonetheless, I went in and I got our password and everything, and I looked up the AAA. And then his card number's got to be the same as mine, right? I think all our card numbers are the same.
I think so.
So he says, well, my card's inside the car. I said, well, if you call them, they're going to send somebody. That happens all the time. And anyways, he was trying to do it online. So I did a screenshot of my card. I called him up. I gave him the number, and then I sent him the screenshot just in case he forgot it or whatever. Right. And then he said, okay, all right. Well, anyways, apparently he responded when I was out mowing, and he says the guy came faster than he thought, which that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. It's just the last time was an exception.
In his car, listening to the radio.
I don't know. I locked myself out of my car lots of times. Thing is, I broke into my car every time I did it. I never called anybody or anything. I just broke into it.
We didn't have, I always had AAA because that was my Christmas present from my grandparents.
I never had AAA until we got married. And then that was a present from your grandparents.
Yeah. Yep, I did that for many, many years.
Yeah, and then we quit with AAA for just short time, and I just looked. And our card, we've been with them for 20 years in that break. So you've had AAA for well over 40 years.
Yeah. 30.
And we've had plus. No, it has to be 40. If you started getting when you were 16.
Less than 40.
Yeah.
Because I'll be 56 this
year. Yeah.
So
but
I didn't get my license till I was 17.
Ooh.
Because I had to do it through school.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do mine through school.
Neither did my brother.
My dad, he
did AAA.
He didn't do triple. We had a academy school of driving. I don't know what it was called.
Back then, I can only imagine how much it costs now. It was $50.
For school.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's
back
cheap.
then, it was $120, I think, if you went to the school.
Yeah.
Well, he did me, and then my stepsister, we're same age.
Right.
Within a few months, so he paid for her too at the same time. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know how that worked with Mark. I don't remember if he went through the school or not. But anyways, all right, let me go give you an update.
Yeah, my sister and I had to go through school.
Yeah, it takes longer.
9 weeks.
So
if you have to be 16.
I don't know if this is, maybe we should elaborate a bit more on this if you guys are interested. At least it is in Ohio. When you get your driver's training,
it's 15 and a half now.
You can get it either through the school. The school always has a driver's training program, and you do it. It's kind of like after school, during school. It's weird. It's kind of like a lunch break thing but it's a class. You go to driver's training, driver's ed. Or if you don't want to do that in school, which takes, a whole half a semester to get your driver's license and get your schooling done, you can go to one of these driving school academies that are private organizations. You pay more, and I think it's only 2 weeks, or I think it's 2 weeks.
I'm pretty sure. My brother had his license in 7 days.
Yeah, it was real fast. I remember it wasn't very long.
They went through, not to cut you off, but our kids did not go through driver's ed. We taught them how to drive. They got their license when they were, 21 and 22?
Yeah.
Driving school is required for anyone under the age of 21. If you're under 21, you must complete the approved Class D driver's training course. It's 24 hours of classroom instruction, 8 hours behind the wheel. 50 hours of practice driving, supervised by a licensed adult. That's a lot.
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. This is how it used to be, just to let you know. When I went to driver's training, I was all excited because there was a Chevy Camaro. Chevy. There was a Chevy Camaro that was one of the driver's training cars. However, for whatever reason, they were getting rid of the Chevy Camaro, and I was getting my driver's license with a Chevy Cavalier. So here's the thing, how lax it used to be back then, how everything was laid back. My stepsister, I guess, maybe had a problem because I remember that teacher. Well, I remember my stepsister being upset one day after her driver's thing. And then the driver's trainer that I had, there was 2 of them, that day was the one that had her the day before. And she says, your stepsister has a tendency to hit all the chuck holes and potholes in the road. And the driver's academy said, hey, this is our car. We have to pay for all these repairs. And we were telling her to avoid them. But here's the thing. In the driver's handbook, it says do not swerve or anything like that. Definitely do not go left to center if there's, debris or chuck holes or whatever in your lane. That's what it says.
Don't take the kids on the
Right.
pothole.
Right, exactly. Pothole Express, if that's the case. But I was avoiding him, and she says, I appreciate you avoiding him. Okay. That just tells you that, back then, those drivers' things were pretty cheap and pretty string budget. They didn't have much to go with. So they appreciated anything that we did, as far as showing up. We had to go through so much classroom. But the other thing is, the other driver's trainer, I remember I got in the car with the first time with her ever, and she says, okay, go ahead and go into Ravenna. And I drove into Ravenna, and we're going through the city. And she says, okay, go ahead and pull over at the gas station here. She goes, I got to get cigarettes. So I pulled it to the gas station. I parked it. She got cigarettes. She asked if I wanted a drink or anything. She came back out. She got in the car. And then we went back out on the road, and we drove about another 4 miles. And she turned to me and she says, you drive just fine. She goes, you don't need any help driving. She says, is there anywhere you want to go? Is there any place you'd like to drive to? And I said, well, no. I said, not really. And I said, what about parking in that? She goes, well, we can go try parking if you want. And I said, all right. So I went and tried parking. She goes, you did fine. So it was so lax. Now, I know somebody that took driver's training prior to me by about 8 years. And she was telling the story that her driver's ed teacher told her, man, I'd sure like to be your shower curtain.
Who's that?
It was some guy that was out in Atwater or something. I can't remember. Oh, who the person was?
Yeah.
It was Aneen's daughter.
Oh.
She said that she got
That
told
wouldn't
that
fly today.
she said, boy, he was a creep.
That wouldn't fly,
Nuh-uh.
and them telling somebody else about another driver wouldn't fly.
Yeah, or for the matter of this lady just saying, yeah, let's just drive wherever you want to go. You're fine. All right, that was it. And then when it came to test time, I passed. I got a 100 on the written, and I got a 98 on the driving part because when I came to a stop at the intersection, they wanted me to stop at the crosswalk first, then move forward to the next visually acceptable area to see if there was any cross traffic. Well, the crosswalk was so faded, I didn't even know there was a crosswalk. They'd taken me through the city of Ravenna, and it was like in a little neighborhood.
I went to Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Yeah, when you go to Lisbon, you go on roads that you will never
See again. Yeah.
Brick roads,
Hills.
out one ways, which is good that they would take you on those. But yeah, I got an 85 and an 85.
That's all you needed.
Yeah.
You drive fine. Heidi used to drive me everywhere when we first started dating because I didn't have a driver's license because I was such a good driver. I used to drag race on the street and lost my license.
Yeah,
I told that story.
He still drives like a buck.
Nah. It's just me drive the mower real nice and slow. All right, let's go outside here. It's a little smoky in here. Okay, just like I thought. Remember what I told you? If we just give it a couple days, that the grass would turn out extremely nice, even though I had cow pies the first day. Yeah, that's all you got to do is just give it the right amount of time and redo the lawn. Even though it may not be time to mow because the grass is high, Yeah, you just give it some time and it works out just fine. Oh wow, I was currently being recorded. So yeah, I hopped on the mower before Heidi came home, and oh, looks like she washed her car. No, she didn't. It's shiny still. And went ahead and just remowed everything, and I got to go back further. I mean, I pretty much got the entire lawn done now because it's dry. It's dried out. It's finally, it's finally drying out. I'm so glad. Makes it a lot easier. It's a beautiful day out. It's the high is 74, I think today, 73, something like that. You can see the breeze. I talk about this all the time. This is when Ohio is perfect. We just don't see enough of this, but we do appreciate it nonetheless. Let's see. Oh, remember I said I was going to do something with that cover? Well, I found the cover that fits it perfect. That same manufacturer made another cover that was a little bit smaller, and Heidi said, let's try that. So I did, and perfect. It's a perfect fit. So basically I have $12, that's 24, and another 11, so let's just say 36 total for those 3 covers. Now, to give you an idea, the cover that they used to sell at Pro Pride is much better, much higher quality, but it was also like $260, I think, for those 3 covers. So I'm glad that I found something, and they're not even making them. I can't even order them. I'm wandering over here. We went ahead and put the golf cart on the charger today because I just got finished doing a review on this bike, and boy, does it look awful much like a Ingway, don't it? I mean, it really looks like an Ingway, but this thing's pretty quick. It does I don't know, with me on it, probably about 28 miles an hour, which that's pretty fast considering. I wonder why that fell down like that. I had it balanced up here nice. There we go. Yeah, but it's a nice color. Heidi likes it. I wonder if I can turn this off and it's still charge. I don't see why not. Yeah, it's still charging. I'm assuming that's red. Looks like it's red, right? Yeah. Red right. Sounds like a football play, right? Red right. Okay, so that's it. That's the only update I'm going to give. I have some more reviews that I've got to do, so you guys will see them pop up intermittently in between all this stuff. And again, we need to work on the garage, but I had to do this review today, and I don't like working when Heidi's at home. When she does, something to get herself not scheduled to work, I want to make sure that I am around for whatever she may want to do, or just, for company for that matter, just be around her during her time off. So when she's off, I'm off. That's how that kind of works. At least that's what we always try to do. Now, the other day I had to do a lot of editing, and I just sat and worked. Even though she was off, she found something to do, and that was kind of nice. I guess that was a me time for her. But when we were on the road, that was a whole nother story. I mean, we had, times that Heidi got to go outside and just, sit in the sun, lounge in the chair, walk down to the beach if we were at Coral Sands, and she got to do that, and I got to sit and just edit video. Oh, it was so sad. It was a lot of fun, but man, I hated it. It was like torture for me to be inside on such a beautiful, beautiful day at a beach, pure sunshine. I had to sit and edit video. Even when we did our vacation. Heidi's got a problem with her headlight. I'll talk about that, and then I'll let you guys go, and we'll pick this up at a later time. So I think Kia is trying to screw her over, because I never heard this before. This is the bad headlight. I'll show you what the headlight should look like. Now, you can kind of see, right? It's this big whole assembly, and you can see how clear it is. You can see inside there on the bulbs. And then we'll come over to the bad one. And then immediately you can see, right? All that moisture, all of that. Okay. So she had to get her oil changed. So they told her to bring the car in, and she scheduled at the same time for them to look at her headlight for the, you know, the problem that's clearly there. So they did, and then they said, we've got to get hold of Kia and see what they want to do with it. Well, let me just tell you that whole assembly is all one piece. There is no like bulbs you change. There is no, it's all one piece. That jagged lightning bolt looking thing here and this piece, that's all together. It's all one piece. And it's got to be a $1,800 assembly or something like that. It's expensive. I just know it's expensive. It's over $800. So Heidi waited a few days, and then they finally contacted her and said, okay, this is what we got to do. You've got to bring the car in and leave it, and we're going to do a drying process. We'll give you a rental car to use, but we've got to go through this drying process first to see if we can get it dried out. Well, that's a crock. That ain't gonna fix it. That's just delaying the moisture coming back at a later time. But that's what they got to do. So that's the first step. Well, I think, let's come down here. It should be uploaded by now. Oh, it'd be so nice. Video uploading. It still says 10 minutes left. Okay, let's go outside. Let's see how nice it is out there. Because it's nice. Heidi's working today, but she's just working a part of a day. As she did the day before yesterday. She was off yesterday. Because she has extra hours in. What a nice day, right? I should open the windows. Matter of fact, I will after I'm done with you guys. Everybody's taking care of their lawns, it sounds like. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so right now I don't have much to update you on. I'm waiting for a delivery. That's why my cart's here. We've got... I'll tell you, it's kind of funny. I'm coming out here without really anything to update you on, and all of a sudden I've got an update. Not really an update, just something that I wanted to kind of express. Whew, looks silly. Got the baggie on. I didn't think I was going to be wearing it what I have last couple days when I'm working on stuff. That's not what I want to update you on or talk about. It doesn't fail that whenever we have a big e-bike review, we usually have somebody saying, I like it, but it looks a little too tall for me. It's a little long. It's a little heavy, whatever. If it's big, there's something that's too big about it. So then we do a smaller e-bike review, and we get comments of, that one's a little bit too small. I'm a bigger person. It needs to do this. I need to go this far. Will it do that? So then I do a medium. It's always that way. So that pertains to all reviews for that matter, tell you the truth. And the review that I did on that electric bike rack, which is pretty, it's got everything. It's, it tilts. It lifts it for you. It's for e-bikes, big e-bikes, heavy e-bikes, the whole thing. Of course, I need something a little bit smaller I can take out of my vehicle. I'm like, all right, well. I have another bike review coming up, a bike rack review. And it's to basically address, somebody that wants a lightweight one. So I've got a real basic one coming. But it is rated for e-bikes, and it does tilt. And it will fold up. So that's really all you need in an e-bike rack. The most basic function of carrying the e-bike, capable of handling the weight, and then being able to tilt down if you have a hatchback on an SUV for it to clear the hatchback to open, and then of course it to fold up when you're not carrying e-bikes. You can travel around with it still on the back of the vehicle and not have it just hanging out there so somebody can hit it or you forget about it and back into something. So like I said, I just always find it amusing that no matter what you review, it's either it's the three bears, you know, but there's never a mama bear. Ah, beautiful day though. It's just beautiful. And I think today's high is maybe going to be in the mid 60s, maybe 70. It's just wonderful. So I'm going to, I'm going to go open all the windows. How about that? Morning, YouTube. Look at this. I have a screen here now. Oh, it's nice. We got rid of that glass. We need to get rid of the whole door, though. It's horrible. It's a beautiful day. Man, Heidi's working today. I hate that. But I believe she's off tomorrow. And then her normal day of Thursday. I got to do a review today, so that's why I'm coming out here. But man, I'm so glad that I tackled the yard. Right? Oh, it's so much better. Oh. Hear that door just finally close? I got that closer really, really slow. All this has been out for quite a few days now. I think I might be bringing this in. There's really no sense in it. It's not really too hot, and I can't think of a reason to continue to leave this open. I don't really have work to do on this. Isn't oh my god, it's almost funny to say, right? that's not normally the case. Boy, I'll tell you what I could do though. A couple of things. Boy, I miss the keyless entry. It's just a never-ending thing with me. There's certain features that I miss, and the keyless entry is definitely one of them. I think Heidi liked that also. The other thing that Heidi and I discussed it, and I'll put this out to you guys. Tell me what you think. First of all, I have a tankless water heater that's just sitting in the garage that I can install in here. Okay? I know that it's lighter, and I know that it's a different way to go to heat your water. However, I don't necessarily like the idea of tankless unless you've got full hookups. If you got full hookups, then go right to it. I think that's great. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want a tankless water heater, because you have the ability to run as much water through it as you need, and you have as much ability to discharge the amount of water that you're using. No issues, no worries, right? It's a kind of a no-brainer, I think. But I like the idea that there's a lot of times we just need warm water to wash our hands. We only need hot water when we take a shower. And if you heat this water and then turn off your hot water heating source, whatever that may be, that hot water lasts quite some time. All right. Why would I even be talking about that? Well, again, when we went on our last camping trip, if you guys missed it on one of those long videos, may have skipped through, the heating element or the circuit board or the over temp switch or the power switch, something failed because the switch is kind of melted in the on position. I don't know what that means, but it means a repair of some kind. Now here's the thing. It heats just fine on propane. Okay, now our last camper, just to give you an idea, it didn't even have electric heat. It just had propane. That's all it had. Well, I don't know why I would be concerned necessarily, other than when we're at a campsite hooked up, we're using their electricity and we're paying for their electricity. So why not run it all the time to heat the water? I can't do that. I would have to always use our propane. That's a downfall. You know, there's a lot of times we'll forget to turn off the hot water, and that means it's always going to keep it up the temp using the propane. Here's the second problem. I could change this. It's not that it's a problem that's overly complicated. These are only 20-pound tanks. You can see where I'm going there, right? How far will those 20-pound tanks go heating the hot water? I don't know. But nonetheless, I told Heidi, I don't think I'm going to repair this hot water tank. Not right now. Maybe I'll come across a deal or something. And I don't like the idea that it used to be that you had a Suburban water heater and you had an Atwood water heater. And somehow Dometic bought or owns something, both of them, or they're combined. I don't know the story, but I used to love the Atwood that had the aluminum tank that did not require an anode rod. And that's, I think, the only way that I'd really want to replace this hot water system here. I'd like to go back to that. Now, even though I just said that I don't have a lot of projects on the RV necessarily, doesn't mean I don't have any on the truck. I'm considering this heavily, and I've talked about this in the past, and I did it in the past, and I think I'd like to do it with this truck. And let me tell you why. This truck does not have a rear sway bar on it, okay? A rear sway bar kit for this truck is got to be, I don't know, $500, $400, something like that, which seems like a lot of money for just a bar and some end links and bushings, especially on a popular model like this. That's the thing that I like about the F-150s, is you can buy everything for them. They pretty much have everything. If I was going to increase the ability of the back end to feel more solid as far as whenever I'm towing, and basically what I've said in the past is that these F-150s are kind of soft. They're squishy. They're made to tow, but they're also made to drive every day. And I think that they're more likely to be made to drive every day and give you car-like characteristics than they do giving you heavy-duty truck characteristics when towing. So they've kind of leaned towards the passenger car riding capability of this more than the towing. Even though it's got a capable engine and drivetrain, the suspension is kind of soft. I can cure that or help correct that by going to an airbag system on this. And I'm thinking about getting a real budget airbag and bolting it on to see what happens. Now, I did a video in the past. Maybe you've seen it. A lot of you could have joined the channel based on it because I got a lot of views. And it's basically, it says, towing with airbags, weight distribution, maybe not a good idea, something to that effect. And even though I did that video and I talked about it extensively, when we hit the road full time, even though we had an F-350, guess what I had? Airbags. I had airbags on the truck, and they served a purpose. What it was is whenever we had our travel trailer and our weight distribution system, I would just firm them up ever so slightly to make the truck ride just a little bit more firm. I didn't pump them up real. I just used a little bit of air. Again, I talked about that during our travels, how I changed that quite a bit, Now, when we went to the fifth wheel, of course, at that point, airbags that's a dream. That's like a no-brainer. Put airbags on. I mean, it really helps considerably. But when you're towing with weight distribution, it's kind of hard to play that game. You don't want to use airbags to accommodate the trailer. You want the weight distribution to accommodate the extra weight of the trailer. You want the airbags to just help out with ride quality. And the ride quality on this is just a little squishy. I'd like to firm it up a little bit. I know there's already a bunch of you getting ready to type and saying, oh, that you're talking about the same thing, whatever. That's not how it works. And I'm telling you that with the experience that I had towing and pulling all over the country, the F350 with this exact same hitch system, the ProPride hitch system, benefited from having airbags at certain times, especially when I put a load in the back of the truck. It just helped. It helped with ride quality. Not that it helped with the ability for the truck to tow any more than what it could. That's not what they're made for. It just helped with the quality of the ride. And that's what I'm suffering with. And again, suffering's a harsh word. That's what I'm feeling a little bit now, is that it's just a little bit of a squishy ride I like to firm up. So I think I'm going to do airbags on this truck. So that's a project. In the meantime, I do have a project that I have to do. This reminds me of the old days when we were down in Beloit. Somebody just commented on that. I can't remember who it was. Thanks for commenting that. It kind of made me feel nostalgic and kind of reminded me about the way things used to be. And that was when we first started our channel and how we, we had the garage disaster. Like this garage isn't any different. I guess it's just my characteristic of how I do things, right? I mean, if it's like this here and it was like this at the other place, then I guess that's just the way things are whenever I've got a garage. And that is cluttered, right? I'm hooking up the door as I talk to you guys. But yeah, I think that was a nice little comment that he made. And he says, I remember, and he was kind of, reminiscing. He says, I remembered your old house and your garage and, the old blue and white truck and the old Terry camper. And yeah, I remember all those things too. It was a different time. It was a good time. The thing that let me get real with you guys too. And you can put your 2 cents in on this. That'd be fine. Because I like hearing from you guys, obviously. Things just have a tendency to work out. If you concentrate hard enough on a goal, every decision that you make keeps you focused towards that goal. And even though it doesn't seem like that you're working towards it hard necessarily, you are inadvertently working towards that goal. Again, keeping the same goal in mind. Heidi and I would like to get to the point where she is going to retire. We talked about that in the past. She actually retired. I mean, I know a lot of you guys, whenever she left her job prior, that you probably looked at, oh, she just quit her job. No, she retired from her job. She actually told them, hey, I'm retired. I'm out of here. They had a retirement party. All her paperwork, everything was for retirement. However, they left it open for her if she wanted to come back to work, even on a part-time basis. Little did we know that she was going to go full-blown back into work again. We're trying to find a good, fine balance between the home here and being able to travel. And right now, we're figuring out the money portion of that. So it's you guys know, most of our viewers are our age. There's some youngers. You've got a balance there, and nothing in the future is guaranteed, and nothing in the future is foreseen. You just kind of deal with it as it happens. But yeah, we're looking to potentially figure out a way for Heidi to retire whenever she gets to be retirement age. But man, it's tough. Now I retire in 3 years. Let me phrase that. I'm never going to retire. I start collecting Social Security in 3 years. Let's just say that. But I don't, Heidi, you got to add 4 years to that. So I keep on kidding around with her. I'm like, hey, you're going to have to retire early. You're going to have to retire when you get kind of close to the age that you're, supposed to retire. We'll carry through until your full retirement age. And I should say full retirement age, her early retirement age. And I said, then you collect Social Security starting then. But yeah, it's a weird game that you got to play whenever you get to be older. So that's what we're kind of doing. We're trying to figure out, right now, our what we're looking forward to is the truck and the trailer can handle it as it stands. We're looking to doing a bigger trip, actually going on some sort of a travel vacation. And as Heidi and I mentioned or alluded to before in a previous video, not that long ago, that I don't even know if we'd make plans to go somewhere specific. We just want to travel and do like it was whenever we were on the road full time. Just go to our next destination, whatever that may be, stop, stay for the night, whatever that may look like. Maybe stay for a couple days if we like it. If not, or when it's ready to go, hook up and go. Time to go to the next place. We enjoyed that. We enjoyed that a lot. That's probably the most costly way to travel, but it's also could be the cheapest way, other than the gas, other than the fuel. That's could be the cheapest way to travel, because if you really don't want to pay for a place for the night, you just have to find a free place to stay for the night, which is pretty easy. I mean, there's quite a few places. You just have to manipulate that. Now, a lot of people, including all the truckers that watch this video, are going to say, stay out of the truck stops. I have a Pilot Flying J card, and that's where I get my fuel. They have RV spots at a lot of those stations. They also have an RV dump station. They have a propane tank refill. They have pumps, gas pumps, not diesel pumps, but gas pumps that are specific for RVs. All that works for us. So when we go to those stations and we have a card that we're going to be charging our gas on, or we're going to get kickbacks or discounts on the food that we buy and everything using that Pilot Flying J card, we are told a lot of times when we get there, hey, there's no RV spots, just go back with the truckers. I mean, that's them. That's what they're saying. I'm not going to go,
listen here, Missy, I'm not going to go back there and take a hard-working trucker spot because you don't have any RV spots for me.
Now, a lot of times what we'll do, because I see a lot of truckers that are looking for spots, they're driving around in circles, they're all trying to find spots, yet there's a whole bunch of reserved parking spots that are open. And I go in and ask, and they go, oh yeah, there's 3 spots out there you can reserve. Then we pay for that. We'll pay for that spot. It's not as expensive as us trying to stay in a campground for the night. And the other thing is our convenience when we're driving down the road. You know, I get tired just like anybody else. No matter how hard I plan, I could just all of a sudden, maybe I ate wrong. Maybe I don't feel well. I need to pull over and I need to stay crashed for the night. And I mean crash as far as sleeping, not crash as in, crash. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And my truck can do a lot of damage with the trailer. And our old rig definitely could do a lot of damage with the 5th wheel. That was a big truck and a trailer that, that's a lot of weight going down the road. Obviously, all the truckers are raising their hand going, yeah, but I'm 80,000 pounds. I'm 90. I'm 100,000 pounds. I get it. Yes, you're a big truck. That's your job. I understand that. But it's your job. You got to understand that that's part of the job. Finding places to stay for the night. And the argument is not with RVers that are just trying to go out and enjoy themselves, or like in our case, we were full-time on the road. We're just trying to live. We're just trying to live just like everybody else. And we were getting from one place to the other. So the argument is with the people that are in charge of putting out parking spaces. That's the people that you need to have the argument with. I can't help that I'm being told to go do those things. But even when we go to certain location, it's hard. I don't know how many times that we've seen a sign that says Walmart up ahead. All right, cool. Maybe we can stay at this Walmart. And we get off the exit. It's later at night. And next thing I know, I see a sign that says 8 miles. Come on, I got to go 8 miles off of the road to get to Walmart or off the highway. So we do. And we drive 8 miles and we get there, and the parking lot, first of all, maybe they don't let us. I mean, there's times that Walmart will turn you down. There's a lot of Walmarts that don't allow it. 2, that it's just, there's not an area to pull off. There's no parking available. Or maybe 3, it's a really shady area. It's not like Walmarts or anything to do with a great, nice community that has the most outstanding upstanding as citizens. I mean, it could just be whatever. We've run into that. Well, Now I'm driving 8 miles back just to find someplace else to stop. And if I see, again, a truck stop that's sitting there, and it's like, well, let me see if I can find a parking space. Don't get me wrong, we try to accommodate, like the one in Lee, Florida. They tell us to park back with the truckers or try to park, which we can't fit. We literally can't fit. And they've got that McDonald's drive-through that everybody's driving in and out of because it's Lee, Florida. It's not like it's a big city. And everybody's come flying in around the RVs to get to the drive-through. Well, you can imagine at 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight, if they're open, what kind of people are coming in on the weekends. Maybe they're not sober and they're flying through there. I'm not one to put out my steps for those guys to come flying through and hit them. And I'm definitely not putting out my slide. But nonetheless, we asked, and they've given us permission, and you can go back and look at our videos, the couple times that we stayed there. We backed our rig up into the corner out of the way of everybody. We didn't go back like they suggested when I told them, hey, we don't fit in those spots. They said, well, just go back with the truckers, find a spot back there. We didn't do that. We immediately said, hey, can we park out in front? Sorry about that. Can we park out front with these other guys, but over to the side, out of the way? And they said, yeah, if you can fit back there, sure. And sure enough, we wiggled in there. We try to accommodate as much as possible, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. So when we're traveling to keep it cheap, we'll try to find spots along the way. And sometimes that is truck stops. That's just the way it is. I don't want to be crude about that, but I mean, I can't help that the career that you chose sometimes means that there's parking shortages. Every RV in the country could be banned from every truck stop in the country, and you guys still wouldn't have enough parking spots. So to blame the few people that pull in and park in the truck stop, which is very few. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think you're pretty aware. Most of those truckers are pretty disgusting. And to pull into a parking lot that is acres of parking, and as soon as you open your window to start ventilating inside, because you're going to be in there for the night, it smells like urine, or you find defecation out in the parking lot. You find trash all over the place, even though there are trash cans within, 20 feet of where the trash is being thrown. Truckers are just disgusting. And not all of them, obviously, but whenever you walk through that parking lot, it smells like urine. You know what's going on there. And most of these truck stops, there's the perfect example. They give you all the outhouses you need just to take a leak, yet truckers are lazy. They just want to take a leak right there and be done with it. I get it. Truckers are lazy and they just want to have a parking space wherever they decide to pull in. And they don't want to pull in the correct way, and they want to face the wrong way, and they don't give they leave their trucks in the fuel islands and go in and get something to eat while everybody else waits, and park on the scales and then go in and order a meal, take a shower, then come out. I mean, I get all of that. I used to work with FedEx Custom Critical. I was a driver trainer. I worked in the contracts department. I was an ombudsman for the truckers. I helped with training on the truckers. I was a dispatcher. I helped the drivers with all their loads. I understand everything that's going on out there. But the truck stop lawyers that are just all over RVers, because they think if they ban all the RVers from the truck stops parking, they're going to have the most golden life that that they can imagine. We know that's not the truth. We all know that's not the truth. It has nothing to do with RVers. So that's basically my take on it. I'm sure it ticks somebody off, but I guess that's what I'm here for, right? Well, it's later in the evening, and I got very little done today. Let me think what I did. I got the golf cart out. I put away the awning and the shade and all that stuff. There's no sense in it being out anymore. Let's go ahead and go for a little ride. Oh, it's kind of chilly. I mean, I don't like it cold. You know that. It's got to be 60-something. Heidi's on our way home from work. All of our windows are open in the house. All of them. Look at that. Let's go. So this worked out real well today. All the garden, let me think how to say it. Do you know the garden that we had over there? How it had like logs around it or whatever. They were like ties, some garden ties, I guess you would call them, landscaping ties. Well, we had them all piled up against those trees because they were wet, and I figured, well, eventually they'll dry out. That was today. So we could burn them. Yeah, they dried out. I got them piled up. I put this brick here to help with the airflow. And yeah, this worked out good. I burned my shins numerous times because it was so hot. I'm sure these will just burn away until it's time to come back again and stir it. Actually, I'm not going to come back today. You know, I'm done. I'll throw some wood on here, but I'm pretty much done. These are just coals. Somebody putting the coals out on my carpet. Remember that? You guys know what movie that was?
Hey, what is this? What is this shit here? Hold up. Hey, who been putting out their coals on my floor? Who has been putting out their coals on my floor?
It's on Trading Places. I love that movie. That was a really good movie. I'll be sad whenever those comedians are not around anymore, because they were some really good movie makers. Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, and well, Don Amici's already gone. Ralph Bellamy, I think he's obviously already gone. Those guys, you know, they were older back then, but man, it's going to be sad whenever we lose more than what we got already. Okay, let's get the brick out of here. No sense in Mr. Brick being here anymore. I'm going to get the zero turnout tomorrow, and I'm going to mow all this. It dried out enough. I can walk all along. Then I'm going to have to do something about those two clumps back there because their bushes have been cut down. Yeah, I didn't do a very good job with that. But then again, I was just kind of in a hurry to get that done. That's grass from last year and leaves. Yeah, this will work out pretty good. These nice hot coals. Hot coals. And just to make sure that we've got a good burn going, I've got the last little bit of this wood, and this wood is definitely dry and ready to burn. Some of it was already burning. It was left over from the last time. Ooh, that's nice and warm. I could stand sitting by the fire for a while. All right, just a few more. How exciting is this, huh? Let's go ahead and triple it up here. And one more. Yeah, I'll be able to mow. There was a stick that was in the way here. Ooh, mosquito landed on my ear. That's always fun. Get this one back up there to help it along. Yeah, you can see those hot coals in there. Yeah, all that hot air. Good for something, huh? Yeah, this will burn up really good. Okay. Well, my work is done here. Again, we'll leave that stuff for tomorrow. We'll have to make this a fire ring or something. I'll tell you what, ultimately, what Heidi and Heidi and I would like to do is make it to where we could be camper host again. And if you can basically back your RV in, you could stay. See, that's where we were talking about. We wouldn't mind having a turnaround of some kind of turnaround that would allow us to be camper hosts, and somebody could just pull in the drive, navigate around the garage, and then yeah, look at that. Look at how hot those coals are. Ooh, that's going to be a good fire. Mosquitoes are on me though. It's going to be a good fire. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice? I mean, it's kind of a nice camp thing. I told Heidi, I said, we could go ahead and run water back here if we wanted, or we could get a water tote that somebody could hook up to. We've got a power block right there, power thing. Of course, inside, there's 100 amp service inside that pole building. 100 amp. That would be easy. We've been leaving this open, and it's drying out nicely in here. I mean, it's drying out real nice. Let's go ahead and turn on some lights. Get ourselves some lights in here. Yeah. This is being open. This has worked out really well. I'm really happy about how dry it's gotten. But we still have the problem of, freaking birds. We put that owl up there. It moves, occasionally because the wind and stuff, but whatever. I did do some lights in here. I wanted to show you guys. I have one light that used to be in the middle of the garage, right there. I had that one in the middle. That's this cord right here. Let's go ahead and plug it in. And it used to light up the garage really well, in the middle. I've got one light out here, and then I'll tell you, and I want you guys to tell me what I should do or what you think I should do. You see that one light? That one light. I have a total of 10 of those, and I was going to put them all in this pole building. Man, it would light this place up, wouldn't it? I think that I could get away with putting in maybe just 6 of the 10. And I think I might do that. These are high bay lights. They're very, very bright. And I actually like the idea of maybe getting them mounted in the rafters more, pointed maybe in instead of straight down. So we would light up even more inside here. But yeah, I was pretty impressed whenever I seen that. So we do have better lighting, right? I mean, it's a little bit better in here. You hear the birds farting around up in the rafters. They need shot. I don't want them shot. I just want them out of here. I don't want them around. Oh, you know what? I've never really looked at these headlights on this thing, or the tail lights. I know I repaired them, but how about that? I don't know if the brake lights work or not. Let's see if they get brighter back here. Yeah. Well, they do something. Looks like they short out. I've never really messed with it. I know the turn signal don't work. And that bird is going to town up there. Whatever. Yeah, we make our own little campground here, you know. Basically have fire ring. Just need to have a camper pad. Heidi was talking about making it to where this camper has a pad back here, possibly. I don't know about over here, maybe over here, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that. It is cold. I'm really cold. I mean, it's not freezing, but it's not warm. Oh, good. Heidi's home. Okay, I gotta go say hi to her. Maybe we go say hi to her real quick. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, the window's open in the garage today. So nice. But we're done. Everybody hold their ears. I'm going to say the A word. Close left door. I gotta lock my truck. Yeah, we'll see what Heidi's up to. We got the little campfire going on back there now. I took this glass out, like I said, so now this door slams a little weird.
Maybe it might still be downstairs.
Light 100%. So Heidi's home. Finally get to talk to her.
12 hours sucks.
12 hours do suck.
3 Taco Bell.
Is that what we're having?
Yeah, but I'm gonna cook tomorrow. We're gonna have Chipotle bowls tomorrow.
Good. Heidi
it's not the same.
Heidi, no, it is. It's pretty good.
Well, it tastes better.
Yeah, I like it. She also makes those breakfast burritos.
Oh yeah, you out of them?
I was out of them.
Oh,
like within 3 days.
Okay. Well, then I'll make my list for that because I have a couple.
Okay.
But I really liked them. I honestly want to make them in bigger burrito things so I can put more stuff in them.
With the lightest. Alexa, turn off table light.
Is light in here?
Alexa, turn on table light.
Made it too dark.
Alexa, turn off couch light. That didn't work either. Turn on couch light. I mean, that's what it needs. There. So much better. So you're making a list for groceries tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely...
we can do those burrito bowls if
How long will those breakfast burritos, can they stay frozen?
A couple weeks.
Because, I mean, I can eat one pretty much every day, skip every once in a while. I mean, for a snack.
Well, that's what I said. If I would quit forgetting that they're in my freezer at work, I could have had that for dinner and we wouldn't be eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I would have actually made really 2 of them. They turned out real good. I might put potatoes in them next time.
I can't do potatoes. I don't want no carbs in there other than the shell.
All right.
That's good enough for me, the shell. The more meat, the better for me. Meat, cheese. Okay.
Well, like I said, if I can make them bigger, I can put more meat in them.
Well, I mean, they were all right. The size was fine. They were perfect size.
Yeah, I just got the medium size.
Is my shin Washington red shins? They look red?
Look a little pink.
You know why? The fire.
Oh,
it got so hot. I kept on burning it, just getting close.
4x4s.
They're all gone. I mean, there's a few that left.
Right, but they got dried up good, didn't they? Because they were
Yeah. And I burned a couple sticks, and that's what I just finished off putting in the last bit of the sticks just on top of them. I stirred up the coals, but all that wood's gone. So,
Well, that's good.
all right. Well, tell everybody goodbye till tomorrow.
Goodbye till tomorrow.